I noticed students had a lot of trouble with the question about Gomez's small pottery firm. You were supposed to calculate the accounting profits, normal profits, and economic profits, and you're given all of this information about Gomez's firm. So first of all, what we want to do is make sure we understand what all the explicit and implicit costs are. The explicit costs are the worker that he has to hire, the rent he has to pay, and the materials cost. The implicit costs are going to include the implicit interest on his funds, not the funds themselves, because the money that he has invested, he is expecting to get that money back. The only question in terms of implicit costs is how much interest he could have earned investing his funds in alternative use. So this would be an implicit cost. His alternative job would also be an implicit cost, and his entrepreneurial skills. Now this is kind of strange to be breaking these into two separate pieces, but we're going to include both what he could have earned elsewhere and the value of his entrepreneurship in calculating his implicit costs. And then of course his revenues are $72,000. So we want to figure out his accounting profit. We're going to take that $72,000. Okay, I'm going to put that at the top. Move these down. And I'm going to look at all of the explicit costs. So the explicit costs would be the worker, the rent, and the materials. So $72,000, we're going to subtract $12,000, $5,000, and $20,000, and we end up with $35,000. So $35,000 is the value of our accounting profit in this case. Okay, what is the value of his normal profit? The value of his normal profit comes if we add together his implicit and explicit costs. So now we're going to need to consider all of the explicit costs, which were a total of $37,000, and we need to consider his implicit costs, which are $4,000, $15,000, and $3,000. Altogether then, his explicit and implicit costs are going to be $37,000 plus $3,000 plus $4,000. Oops, I made a mistake on the calculator. $37,000 plus $3,000 plus $4,000 plus $15,000. So his total costs are now going to be $59,000. He has total costs of $59,000 when we add together explicit and implicit costs. $59,000, okay, we're going to compare that to his total revenue. So $72,000 minus the $59,000, and we end up with $13,000 in economic profits. $13,000 is his total economic profit. Finally, what is his normal profit? His normal profit is the total of his implicit costs, or what he could have expected to make elsewhere. So if we want to figure out his normal profits, we're just going to total up these three numbers, $4,000, $15,000, and $3,000, for a grand total of $22,000 in normal profits. So his economic profits would be $35,000. His accounting profits are $35,000. His economic profits are $13,000, and his normal profits are $22,000.